Welcome to our YouTube channel. We are excited to present our latest audiobook project, Ren and Martin English Grammar. This audiobook is designed by our team for visually impaired students who want to learn English grammar. The name of our team members are Yugandhar Patil, Chetan, Reshma, Sinchana, and Sneha. So let's begin. English Grammar and Composition by Ren and Martin. Chapter 1. The Sentence. First, when we speak or write, we use words. We generally use these words in groups, as Little Jack Hornet sat in a corner. A group of words like this, which makes complete sense, is called a sentence. Kinds of sentences. 2. Sentences are of four kinds. First, those which make statements or assertions. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Second, those which ask questions. Where do you live? Third, those which express commands, requests, or entreaties. Be quiet, have mercy upon us. Fourth, those which express strong feelings. How cold the night is. What a shame. A sentence that makes a statement or assertion is called a declarative or assertive sentence. A sentence that asks a question is called an interrogative sentence. A sentence that expresses a command or an entreaty is called an imperative sentence. A sentence that expresses strong feeling is called an exclamatory sentence. Chapter 2. Subject and Predicate. 3. When we make a sentence, we name some person or thing or say something about the person or thing. In other words, we must have a subject to speak about and we must say or predicate about something about that subject. Hence, every sentence has two parts. The part which names the person or thing we are speaking about, this is called the subject of the sentence. Second, the part which tells about the subject, this is called the predicate of the sentence. 4. The subject of a sentence usually comes first, but occasionally it is put after the predicate, as here comes the bus, sweet, and the uses of adversity. 5. In imperative sentence, the subject is left out as sit down. Here, the subject you is understood. Thank him. Here, to the subject you is understood. Chapter 3. The phrase and the clause. 6. Examine the group of words in a corner. It makes sense but not complete sense. Such a group of words which make sense but not complete sense is called a phrase. In the following sentences, the group of words are phrases. The sun rises in the east. In the east is a phrase. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. On a wall is a phrase. There came a giant to my door. To my door is a phrase. 7. Examine the group of words in the following sentences. He has a chain of gold. He has a chain which is made of gold. We recognize that the first group of words as a phrase. The second group of words, unlike the phrase of gold, contains a subject which, and a predicate is made of gold. Such a group of words which form part of a sentence and contain a subject and a predicate is called a clause. In the following sentences, the clause are: people who pay their debts are trusted. Their debts are clause. We cannot start while it is raining. While it is raining is a clause. I think that you have made a mistake. You have made a mistake is a clause. Chapter 4. Parts of speech. 8. Words are divided into different kinds or classes called parts of speech according to their use, that is, according to the work they do in a sentence. The parts of speech are 8 in number. First, noun. Second, adjective. Third, pronoun. Fourth, verb. Fifth, adverb. Sixth, preposition. 7. Conjunction. 8. Interjection. 9. A noun is a word used as the name of person, place, or thing. First, Akbar was a great king. Here, Akbar and king are noun. Kolkata is on the banks of the river Hoogle. Here, Kolkata and Hoogle are noun. The rose smells sweet. Rose is a noun. Note: the word thing includes first, all objects that we can see, hear, taste, touch, or smell, and second, something that we can think of but cannot perceive by the senses. 10. An adjective is a word used to add something to the meaning of a noun. He is a brave boy. Brave is an adjective. There are 20 boys in this class. 20 is an adjective. 11. A pronoun is a word used instead of a noun. John is absent because he is ill. The books are where you left them. 12. A verb is a word used to express an action or state. The girl wrote a letter to her cousin. Wrote is an action, that is why it is a verb. Kolkata is a big city. Iron and copper are useful metals. An adverb is a word used to add something to the meaning of a verb, an adjective or other adverb. He worked the sum quickly. This flower is very beautiful. She pronounces the word quite correctly. 14. A preposition is a word used with a noun or a pronoun to show how the person or thing denoted by the noun or pronoun stands in relation to something else. There is a cow in the garden. The girl is fond of music. A fair little girl sat under a tree. 15. A conjunction is a word used to join words or sentences. Rama and Hari are cousins. 2 and 2 make 4. I ran fast but missed the train. 16. An interjection is a word which expresses some sudden feeling. Hooray! We have won the game. At last she is dead. 17. Some modern grammar include determiners among the parts of speech. Determiners are words like a, an, the, this, that, these, those, every, each, some, any, my, his, one, two, etc., which determine or limit the meaning of the nouns that follow. In the book, as in many traditional grammars, all determiners except a, an, and the are classed among adjectives. 18th. As the words are divided into different classes according to the work they do in a sentence, it is clear that we cannot say to which part of speech a word belongs unless we see it used in a sentence. They arrived soon after. Adverb. They arrived after us. Preposition. They arrived after we had left. Conjunction. From the above example, we see that the same word can be used as a different part of speech. Chapter 5. The noun, kind of nouns. 19. A noun is a word used as the name of a person, place, or thing. Note: the word thing is used to mean anything that we can think of. 20. Look at the following sentence. Ashok was a great king. The noun Ashok refers to a particular king, but the noun king might be applied to any other king as well as to Ashok. We can call Ashok a proper noun and king a common noun. Similarly, Sita is a proper noun, while girl is a common noun. Hari is a proper noun, while boy is a common noun. Kolkata is a proper noun, while city is a common noun. India is a proper noun, while country is a common noun. The word girl is a common noun because it is a name common to all girls, while Sita is a proper noun because it is a name of a particular girl. Definition: a common noun is a name given in common to every person or thing of the same class or kind. Common here means shared by all. Definition: a proper noun is the name of some particular person or place. Proper means one's own. Hence, a proper name is a person's own name. Note 1. Proper nouns are always written with a capital letter at the beginning. Note 2. Proper nouns are sometimes used as common nouns. Common nouns include what are called collective nouns and abstract nouns. 21. A collective noun is the name of a number or collection of persons or things taken together and spoken as one whole. Example: crowd, mob, team, flock, herd, army, fleet, jury, family, nation, etc. 22. An abstract noun is usually the name of a quality, action, or state considered apart from the object to which it belongs. The names of the art and sciences, example grammar, music, chemistry, etc., are also abstract nouns. We can speak of a brave soldier, a strong man, a beautiful flower, but we can also think of these qualities apart from any particular person or thing and speak about bravery, strength, beauty by themselves. So also we can speak of what person do or feel apart from persons themselves and give it a name. The word abstract means drawn off. 23. Abstract nouns are formed first from adjective as kindness from kind, honesty from honest. Second, form verbs obedience from obey, growth from grow. Third, from common nouns childhood from child, slavery from slave. 24. Another classification of nouns is whether they are countable or uncountable. Countable nouns are the name of object, people, etc. that can be counted. Example: book, pen, apple, boy, sister, doctor, horse, etc. Uncountable nouns are the name of things which we cannot count. Example: milk, oil, sugar, gold, honesty. They mainly denote substances and abstract things. Countable nouns have plural forms while uncountable nouns do not. For example, we can say books, but we cannot say milks. Chapter 6: The Noun, Gender. 25. You know that living beings are of either the male or the female sex. Now compare the words in the following pairs: boy, girl, lion, lioness, hero, heroine, cock sparrow, hen sparrow. What do you notice? The first word of each pair is the name of a male animal. The second word of each pair is the name of a female animal. A noun that denotes a male animal is said to be of the masculine gender. Gender comes from Latin word kind or sort. A noun that denotes a female animal is said to be a feminine gender. 26. A noun that denotes either a male or a female is said to be of the common gender, as parent, child, friend, pupil, servant, thief, relation, enemy, cousin, etc. 27. A noun that denotes a thing that is neither male nor female, thing without life, is said to be of the neuter gender, as book, pen, room, tree. Neuter means neither that is neither male nor female. It will be thus seen that in modern English the gender of a noun is entirely a matter of sex or the absence of sex. It has nothing to do with the form of noun, which determines its gender in many other languages. 28. Objects without life are often personified, that is, spoken as if they were living beings. We then regard them as male or female. The masculine gender is often applied to objects remarkable for strength and violence, as the sun, summer, winter, time, death. The sun sheds its beam on rich and poor alike. The feminine gender is something applied to objects remarkable for beauty, gentleness, and gratefulness, as the moon, the earth, spring, autumn, nature, liberty. The moon has hidden her face behind a cloud. This use is most common in poetry, but certain nouns are personified in prose too. A ship is often spoken as a she. The ship lost all her boats in the storm. Ways of forming the feminine of noun. 29. There are three ways of forming the feminine of noun. First, by using an entirely different word, as masculine to feminine, bachelor, maid, spinster, boy, girl, brother, sister, buck, doe, bull, cow, bullock, heifer. Second, by adding a syllable ess, ine, trix, a, etc. As masculine to feminine, author, authoress, baron, baroness, count, countess, giant, giantess. Note that in the following ess is added after dropping the vowel of the masculine ending. As masculine to feminine, actor, actress, conductor, conductress, founder, foundress, hunter, huntress. Note, the suffix ess is the commonest suffix used to form feminine noun from the masculine and is the only one which we now use in forming a new feminine noun. Third, by placing a word before or after, as masculine to feminine, grandfather, grandmother, great uncle, great aunt, manservant, maidservant, landlord, landlady. Chapter 7. The noun number. 30. Notice the change of form in the second word of each pair. Tree, trees, box, boxes, ox, oxen, man, men. The first word of each pair denotes one thing. The second word of each pair denotes more than one. A noun that denotes one person or thing is said to be in the singular number, as boy, girl, cow, bird, tree, book, pen. A noun that denotes more than one person or thing is said to be in plural number, as boy, girl, cow, birds, trees, books, pens. Thus, there are two numbers in English, the singular and the plural. How plurals are formed. 31. First, the plurals of noun is generally formed by adding s to the singular, as boy, boys, pen, pens. Second, but noun ending in s, sh, ch, or x form the plural by adding es to the singular, as class, classes, brush, brushes, branch, branches, kiss, kisses. Most nouns ending in o also form the plural by adding es to the singular. Buffalo, buffaloes, potato, potatoes, negro, negroes. Fourth, a few nouns ending in o merely add s, as dynamo, dynamos, piano, pianos, kilo, kilos, solo, solos. Fifth, noun ending in y preceded by a consonant form their plural by changing y into I and adding es, as baby, babies, army, armies, lady, ladies, story, stories. Sixth, the following noun ending in f or fe form their plural by changing f or fe into v and adding es, as thief, thieves, life, lives, loaf, loaves, half, halves, sheaf, sheaves, wife, wives, calf, calves. Other words ending in f or fe add s, as chief, chiefs, safe, safes, climb, climbs, proof, proofs, cliff, cliffs. 32. A few nouns form their plural by changing the inside vowel of the singular, as man, men, goose, geese, woman, women, mouse, mice, foot, feet, tooth, teeth. 33. There are a few nouns that form their plural by adding en to the singular: ox, oxen, child, children. The plural of fish is fish or fishes. In current English, fish is the usual pronoun. Fishes is sometimes used to talk about different kinds of fish. 34. Some nouns have the singular and the plural alike, as swine, sheep, deer, salmon, aircraft, spacecraft, series, species. 35. Some nouns are used only in the plurals. First, names of instruments which have two parts forming a kind of pair, like scissor, tongs, spectacles. Second, names of certain articles of dress, as trousers, drawers, jeans, ties, shorts, pajamas. Third, certain other nouns as annals, thanks, tiding, chattels, assets. 36. Some nouns, originally singular, are now generally used in the plural: arms, riches, eaves. 37. The following nouns look plural but are in fact singular. First, name of subjects: mathematics, physics, electronics, etc. The word news. Third, names of some common diseases: rickets, measles. Fourth, name of some games: billiards, draughts. Means is a use either as singular or plural, but when it has the meaning of wealth, it is always plural. 38. Certain collective nouns, though singular in form, are always used as plural. Example: poultry, kettle, vermin, people. Note: as a common noun, people means a nation and is used in both singular and plural. 39. A compound noun generally forms its plural by adding s to the principal word, singular to plural. Commander in chief, commanders in chief. Coat of mail, coats of mail. Son in law, sons in law. Daughter in law, daughters in law. Stepdaughter, stepdaughters. Stepson, stepsons. We say spoonfuls and handfuls because spoonful and handful are regarding as one word. Note that the proper nouns Brahman and Musalman are not compounds of man. Therefore, their plural are Brahmans and Musalmans. 40. Many nouns taken from foreign language keep their original plural form. 41. Some nouns have two forms from the plural, each with a somewhat different meaning. Singular to plural Cloth, clothes, kind or piece of cloth, or clothes, garment. Die, dies, stample for coining. Second meaning, dice, small cubes used in games. 42. Some nouns have two meaning in the singular but only one in plural. Singular to plural. Light, singular meaning are radiance or a lamp. Plural, lamps. People, singular meanings are nation or men and women. Plural is nations. 43. Some nouns have one meaning in singular, two in the plural. Singular to plural. Color, meaning is hue. Colors has two meanings in plural. Hues, the flag of a regiment. Custom, in singular, habit. Customs in plural has two meanings. Habits as well as duty levied on imports. 44. Some nouns have different meanings in the singular and the plural. Singular to plural. Air means atmosphere, but in plural, airs means affected manners. Good means benefit or well-being, but in plural, goods means merchandise. 45. Letters, figures, and other symbols are made plural by adding an apostrophe s. Example, there are more e's than a's in this page. Dot your i's and cross your t's. Add 2 5's and 4 2's. 46. It is usually to say the Miss Smiths, singular Miss Smith. 47. Abstract nouns have no plural. They are uncountable. Example, hope, charity, love, kindness. When such words do appear in the plural, they are used as countables. Example, provocation, kindness. Kindness means act of kindness. Names of substances are also uncountable and are not therefore used in plural. Example, copper, iron, tin, wood. When such words are used in the plural, they became uncountable and change meanings as coppers means copper coins, iron means feeders, tins mean cans made of tin, woods means forest. Chapter 8. The noun case. 48. Examine these sentences. John threw a stone. The horse kicked the boy. In sentence 1, the noun John is the subject. It is the answer to the question, who threw a stone? The group of words threw a stone is the predicate. The predicate contains the verb threw. What did John throw? A stone. Stone is the object which John threw. The noun stone is therefore called the object. In sentence 2, the noun horse is the subject. It is the answer to the question, who kicked the boy? The noun boy is the object. It is the answer to the question, whom did the horse kick? 49. When a noun or pronoun is used as the subject of a verb, it is said to be in the nominative case. When a noun or a pronoun is used as the object of a verb, it is said to be in objective or accusative state. Note, to find the nominative, put who or what before the verb. To find the accusative, put whom or what before the verb and its subject. 50. A noun which comes after a preposition is also said to be in accusative state, as the book is on the desk. The noun desk is in the accusative state governed by the preposition in. 51. Read the following sentence. Hari broke the window. Object. The window was broken. Subject. It will be seen that nouns in English have the same form for the nominative and the accusative. The nominative generally comes before the verb and the accusative after the verb. Hence, they are distinguished by order of words or by the senses. 52. Compare. Rama gave a ball. Rama gave Hari a ball. In each of these sentences, the noun ball is the object of gave. In the second sentence, we are told that Hari was the person to whom Rama gave a ball. The noun Hari is called the indirect object of the word gave. The noun ball, the ordinary object, is called the direct object. It will be noticed that the position of the indirect object is immediately after the verb and before the direct object. Note: Rama gave a ball to Hari. Rama gave Hari a ball. Will you do me a favor? Will you do a favor to me? We see that the indirect object of a verb denotes the person to whom something is given or for whom something is done. 53. Examine the sentence. This is Rama's umbrella. Rama's umbrella. The umbrella belongs to Rama. The form of the noun Rama is changed to Rama's to show ownership or possession. The noun Rama's is therefore said to be in the possessive case. The possessive answers the question whose. Whose umbrella? Rama's. 54. The possessive case does not always denote possession. It is used to denote authorship, origin, kind, etc. Formation of the possessive case. 55. First, when the noun is singular, the possessive case is formed by adding s to the noun, as the boy's book, the king's crown. Note: the letter s is omitted in a few words where too many hissing sounds would come together, as for conscience sake, for goodness sake, for justice sake, for Jesus' sake. Second, when the noun is plural and ends in s, the possessive case is found by adding only an apostrophe. Example: boys' school, girls' school, horse's tail. Third, when the noun is plural but does not end in s, the possessive sign is found by adding s, as men's club, children's club. Here it is apostrophe s. 56. When a noun or a title consists of several words, the possessive sign is attached only to the last word, as the King of Bhutan's visit, the Prime Minister of Mauritius' speech. 57. When two nouns are in opposition, the possessive sign is put to the letter only, as that is Tagore, the poet's house. 58. Also, when two nouns are closely connected, the possessive is put to the letter as Karim and Salim's bakery, William and Mary's region. 59. Each of two or more connected nouns imply separate position must take the possessive sign as Raja Rao's and R.K. Narayan's novel, Goldsmith's and Cowpill's poem. Use of the possessive case. 60. The possessive case is now used chiefly with the names of living things, as the governor's bodyguard, the lion's mane. So we must say the leg of the table, not the table's leg. The cover of the book, not the book's cover. 61. But the possessive is used with the name of personified objects, as India's heroes, nature's law, fortune's favorite. 62. The possessive is also used with noun denoting time, space, or weight, as a day's march, a week's holiday, in a year's time. 63. The following phrases are also in common use: at his finger's end, for mercy's sakes, to his heart's content. 64. The possessive of a proper name or of a noun denoting a trade, profession, or relationship may be used to denote a building or place of business, church, house, school, college, shop, hospital, theatre, etc. 65. When you are in doubt whether to use a noun in the possessive case or with the preposition of, remember that, as a general rule, the possessive case is used to denote possession or ownership. Thus, it is better to say the defeat of the enemy than the enemy's defeat, even though no doubt as the meaning would arise. Sometimes, however, a noun in the possessive case has a different meaning from the noun used with the preposition of. Example, the Prime Minister reception in Delhi means a reception held by the Prime Minister in Delhi. The reception of the Prime Minister in Delhi means the manner in which the people welcome him when he entered Delhi. Nouns in apposition. 66. Read the following sentence. Rama, our captain, made 50 runs. We see that Rama and our captain are one and the same person. The noun captain follows the noun Rama simply to explain which Rama is referred to. When one noun follows another to describe it, the noun which follows is said to be in opposition to the noun which comes before it. Opposition means placing near. A noun is opposing is in the same case as a noun which is explained. In the above sentence, the noun captain is in opposition to the noun Rama and is in the nominative case because Rama is the nominative case. Chapter 9. The adjective. 67. Read the following sentences. First, Sita is a clever girl. Girl of what kind? I don't like that boy. Which boy? He gave me 5 mangoes. How many mangoes? There is little time for preparation. How much time? In sentence 1, clever shows what kind of girl Sita is, or in other words, clever describes the girl Sita. In sentence 2, that points out which boy is meant. In sentence 3, 5 shows how many mangoes he gave me. In sentence 4, little shows how much time there is for preparation. A word used with a noun to describe or point out the person, animal, place or thing which the noun name or to tell the number or quantity is called an adjective. So we may define an adjective as a word used with a noun to add something for its meaning. Adjective means added to. 68. Look at the following sentences. The lazy boy was punished. The boy is lazy. In sentence 1, the adjective lazy is used along with the boy as an epithet or attribute. It is therefore said to be used attributively. In sentence 2, the adjective lazy is used along with the verb is and forms part of the predicate. It is therefore said to be used predicatively. Some adjectives can be used only predicatively, as she is afraid of ghosts, I am quite well. Kinds of adjective. Adjective may be divided into different following classes. 69. Adjectives of quality or descriptive adjective show the kind or quality of a person or thing, as Kolkata is a large city. He is an honest man. The foolish old crow tried to sing. This is a grammar of English language. Adjective formed from proper nouns, example French wine, Turkish tobacco, Indian tea, etc., are sometimes called proper adjective. They are generally classed with adjectives of quality. Adjectives of quality answer the question of what kind. 70. Adjectives of quality show how much of a thing is meant, as I ate some rice. He showed much patience. He has little intelligence. We have had enough exercise. Adjectives of quality answers the question how much. 71. Adjectives of number or numeral adjectives show how many persons or things are meant, or in what order a person or thing stands. The hand has 5 fingers. Few cats like cold water. There are no picture in this book. I have taught you many things. Adjective of number answers the question how many. 72. Adjective of number are of three kinds. First, definite numeral adjectives, which denote an exact number 1, 2, 3, etc. These are called cardinals. First, second, third, etc. These are called ordinals. A cardinal denotes how many and an ordinal the order of things in a series. It will be seen that ordinal really do the work of demonstrating adjective. Second, indefinite numeral adjectives, which do not denote an exact number as all, no, many, few, some, any, certain, several, sundry. Third, distributive numeral adjective, which refer to each one of a number as each boy must take his turn. India expects every man to do his duty. Every word of it is fall. Either pen will do. 73. The same adjective may be classed as of quantity or number. According to its use, adjective of quantity, adjective of numbers. I ate some rice, some boys are clever. He has lost all his wealth, all men must die. 74. Demonstrative adjective points out which person or thing is meant. The boy is stronger than Hari. The boy is industrious. These mangoes are sour. Those rascals must be punished. Demonstrative adjective answers the question which. It will be noticed that this and that are used with singular nouns and these and those with plural nouns. 75. What, which, and whose, when they are used with nouns to ask questions, are called interrogative adjective, as what manners of man is he? Which way shall we go? Whose book is this? It will be seen that what is used in a general sense and which is a selective sense. 76. In the following sentence, the word own and very are used as emphasizing adjectives. I saw it with my own eyes. He was beaten at his own game. Mind your own business. He is his own master. 77. The word what is sometimes used as an exclamatory adjective as what genius, what an idea, what a blessing. 78. As already pointed out, this and that are the only adjectives which are inflected or changed in form to show numbers. This girl sings. These girls sing. That boy plays. Those boys play. These indicate something near to the speaker. That, those indicate more distinct objects. Formation of adjective. First, 79. Many adjectives are formed from nouns. Noun to adjective. Boy, boyish. Fool, foolish. Care, careful. Play, playful. Hope, hopeful. Venture, venturesome. Trouble, troublesome. Shame, shameless. Sense, senseless. Silk, silken. Gold, golden. Second, some adjectives are formed from verbs. Verb to adjective. Tire, tireless. Talk, talkative. Cease, ceaseless. Move, movable. Third, some adjectives are formed from another adjective. Adjective to adjective. Tragic, tragical. Whole, wholesome. Three, threefold. Black, blackish. White, whitish. Stick, sticky. Chapter 10. Comparison of adjectives. 80. Read these sentences. Rama's mango is sweet. Hari's mango is sweeter than Rama's. Govind's mango is the sweetest of all. In sentence 1, the adjective sweet merely tells us that Rama's mango has the quality of sweetness, without saying how much of this quality it has. In sentence 2, the adjective sweeter tells us that Hari's mango compared with Rama's has more of the quality of sweetness. In sentence 3, the adjective sweetest tells us that of all these mangoes, Govind's mango has a greater amount or highest degree of the quality of sweetness. We thus see that adjective change in form sweet, sweeter, sweetest to show comparison. They are called the three degrees of comparison. The adjective sweet is said to be in the positive degree. The adjective sweeter is said to be in the comparative degree. The adjective sweetest is said to be in the superlative degree. The positive degree of an adjective is the adjective in its simple form. It is used to denote the mere existence of some quality of what we speak about. It is used when no comparison is made. The comparative degree of an adjective denotes a higher degree of quality than the positive and is used when two things or set of things are compared, as this boy is stronger than that. Which of these two pens is better? Apples are dearer than oranges. The superlative degree of an adjective denotes the highest degree of the quality and is used when more than two things or set of things are compared, as this boy is the strongest in the class. Note 1. There is another way in which we can compare things. Instead of saying Rama is stronger than Balu, we can say Balu is less stronger than Rama. Instead of saying Hari is the laziest boy in the class, we can say Hari is the least industrious boy in the class. Note 2. The superlative with most is sometimes used where there is no idea of comparison, but merely a desire to indicate the position of a quality in a very high degree, as this is most unfortunate. This is most unfortunate. It was a most elongated speech, truly a most ingenious device. This usage has been called the superlative of eminence or the absolute superlative. Formation of comparative and superlative. 81. Most adjectives of one syllable are some or more than one. Form the comparative by adding er and the superlative by adding est to the positive. Now, positive to comparative to superlative. Sweet, sweeter, sweetest. Small, smaller, smallest. Tall, taller, tallest. Bold, bolder, boldest. Clever, cleverer, cleverest. Kind, kinder, kindest. Young, younger, youngest. Great, greater, greatest. When the positive ends in E, only R and ST are added. Brave, braver, bravest. Fine, finer, finest. White, whiter, whitest. Large, larger, largest. Able, abler, ablest. Noble, nobler, noblest. Wise, wiser, wisest. When the positive ends in Y, precedes by a consonant, the Y is changed into I before adding ER and EST. Happy, happier, happiest. Easy, easier, easiest. Heavy, heavier, heaviest. Merry, merrier, merriest. Wealthy, wealthier, wealthiest. When the positive is a word of one syllable and ends in a single consonant, preceding by a short vowel, this consonant is doubled before adding er and est. Red, redder, reddest. Big, bigger, biggest. Hot, hotter, hottest. Thin, thinner, thinnest. Sad, sadder, saddest. Fat, fatter, fattest. 82. Adjectives of more than two syllables from the comparative and superlative by putting more and most before the positive. Positive to comparative to superlative. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Difficult, more difficult, most difficult. Industrious, more industrious, most industrious. Courageous, more courageous, most courageous. Two syllable adjectives ending in ful, example useful. Less, example hopeless. Ing, example boring. And ed, example surprised. and many others. Example: modern, recent, foolish, famous, certain. Take more and most. The following take either er and est or more and most. Polite, simple, feeble, gentle, narrow, cruel, common, handsome, pleasant, stupid. She is politer, more polite than her sister. He is politest or most polite of them. 83. The comparative is is not used when we compare two qualities in the same person or thing. If we wish to say that the courage of Rama is greater than the courage of Balu, we say Rama is braver than Balu. But if we wish to say that the courage of Rama is greatest than prudence, we must say Rama is most brave than prudence. 84. When two objects are compared with each other, the latter term of comparison must exclude the former as iron is most useful than any other metal. If we say iron is more useful than any metal, that is the same thing as saying iron is more useful than iron, since iron is left itself a metal. Irregular comparison. 85. The following adjectives are compared irregularly, that is, the comparative and superlative are not formed from the positive to comparative to superlative. Good well becomes better, which is best, bad evil ill, worse worst, little less lesser, least, much more most, many more most, late later, laterer, latest last, old older, elder, oldest eldest, far farther farthest, nigh nigher nighest next. Note: the forms nigh, nigher, nighest are outdated. 86. The double forms of the comparative and superlative of objectives given in 85 are used in different ways. Later, laterer, laterest, last. Later and latest refer to time. Laterer and last refer to position. He is later than I expected. I have not heard the latest news. The latter chapters are lacking in interest. The last chapter is carelessly written. Ours is the last house in the street. Elder, older, eldest, oldest. Elder and eldest are used only of persons, not of animals or things, and are now confirmed to members of the same family. Elder is not used with than following. Older and oldest are used of both persons and things. John is my elder brother. Tom is my eldest brother. He is older than his sister. Rama is the oldest boy in the 11. He is the oldest temple in Calcutta. This is the oldest temple in Calcutta. Father, further. Both father and further are used to express distance. Further, not farther, is used to mean additional. Calcutta is farther or further from the equator than Colombo. After this, he made not further remarks. I must have a reply without further delay. Nearest, next. Nearest means the shortest distance away. Next refers to one of a sequence of things coming one after the other. Mumbai is the seaport nearest to Europe. Where is the nearest phone box? Karim's shop is next to the police office. My uncle lives in the next house. 87. Certain English comparatives have lost their comparative meaning and are used as positive. They cannot be followed by than. These are former, latter, elder, upper, inner, outer, utter. Both the tiger and the leopard are cats. The former animal is much larger than the latter. The inner meaning of this letter is not clear. The soldiers ran to defend the outer wall. My elder brother is an engineer. This man is an utter fool. 88. Certain comparative borrowed from Latin have no positive or superlative degree. They all end in OR, not ER. They are 12 in all. 5 of them have lost their comparative meaning and are used as positive adjectives. These are interior, exterior, ulterior, major, minor. The exterior wall of the house is made of stone. The interior wall are of woods. His age is a matter of minor importance. I have no ulterior motion in offering you help. The other 7 are used as comparative adjective but are followed by to instead of than. To instead of than. See 89. 89. The comparative degree is generally followed by than, but comparative adjectives ending in or are formed by the preposition to as. Interior, superior, prior, anterior, posterior, senior, junior. Hari is inferior to Ram in intelligence. Rama's intelligence is superior to Hari's. His marriage was prior to his father's death. He is junior to all his colleagues. All his colleagues are senior to him. 90. Adjectives express quality that do not admit of different degree cannot strictly speak be compared as square, round, perfect, eternal, universal, unique. Strictly speaking, a thing cannot be more square, more round, more perfect, but we say, for instance, this is the most perfect specimen I have seen. Interchange of degree of comparison. 91. As the following examples show, it is possible to change the degree of comparison of an adjective in a sentence without changing the meaning of the sentence. Superlative. Lead is the heaviest of all metals. Comparative. Lead is heavier than all other metals. Comparative. Mahabaleshwar is cooler than Pachgani. Positive. Pachgani is not so cool as Mahabaleshwar. Positive. He is as wise as Solomon. Comparative. Solomon was not wiser than he is. Superlative. Shakuntalam is the best drama in Sanskrit. Comparative. Shakuntalam is better than any other drama in Sanskrit. Positive. No other drama in Sanskrit is so good as Shakuntalam. Superlative. Chennai is one of the biggest of Indian cities. Comparative. Chennai is bigger than most other Indian cities. Positive. Very few Indian cities are as big as Chennai. Positive. Some poets are at least as great as Tennyson. Comparative. Tennyson is not greater than some other poets. Some poets are not less great than Tennyson. Superlative. Tennyson is not the greatest of all poets. Chapter 11. Adjective used as noun. 92. Adjectives are often used as nouns. First, as plural noun denoting a class of person, as the caution are not always coward. The rich know not how the poor live. The wicked flee when no man pursues, but the righteous are bold as a lion. Righteous, righteous people. Wicked, wicked people. Blessed are the meek. Second, as singular noun denoting some abstract quality, as the future, futurity, is unknown to us. He is a lover of the beauty. Beauty is general. Third, some adjectives actually become nouns and are hence used in both numbers. A. Those derived from proper nouns as Australians, Canadians, Italians. B. Some denoting persons as junior, senior, mortals, inferior, superior, noble, criminals, savages, elder, minors. C. A few denoting things generally as secrets, total, liquids, solids, valuable. Some adjectives are used as noun only in the plural, as valuable eatables. 4. In certain phrases as in general, in future, in short, in secret, before long, at present, for good, at best, though thick and thin, for better or for worse, in black and white, right or wrong, from bad to worse, the long and short. The future I shall charge you for medical advice. In short, we know nothing. The negotiations were carried on in secret. I shall see you before long. Before long, he will be appointed to a higher post. At present, he is a pecuniary difficulty. I do not want any more at present. He has left India for good. We can't arrive before Saturday at best. It must be said to his credit that he stood by his friend, though thin and thick. I must have your terms down in black and white. Right or wrong, my country, I am afraid the young man is going from bad to worse. The long and short of it that I distrust you. Nouns used as adjectives. 93. The use of nouns and adjective is very common in English, as I met a little cottage girl. He is always playing computer games. Chapter 12. Position of adjectives. 94. An adjective used attributively is generally placed immediately before the noun, as King Francis was a hearty king and loved a royal sport. O Captain, my Captain, a fearful trip is done. Observe the difference in meaning between first, a great noble's son, and second, a nobleman's great son. 95. In poetry, however, the adjective is frequently placed after the noun, as children dear, was it yesterday? We heard the sweet bells over the bay. O man, with sisters dear. 96. When several adjectives are attached to one noun, they are sometimes placed after it for emphasis, as there dwell a miller, hale and bold, the king fearless and resolute, at once advantage. Franklin had a genius. Franklin had a great genius, original, sagacious, and inventive. 97. When some words or phrase is joined to the adjective to explain its meaning, the adjective is placed after its noun, as he was a man fertile in resource. A Sikh, taller than any of his comrades, rushed forwards. 98. In certain phrases, the adjective always comes after the noun, as heir apparent, time immortal, lord paramount, viceroy elect, letter patent, knights temporal, notary public, body politic, God Almighty. Chapter 13. The correct use of some adjectives. 99. Some any. To express quality or degree, some is used normally in affirmative sentences. Any is negative or interrogative sentence. Any is negative or interrogative sentence. I will buy some mangoes. I will not buy any mangoes. Have you bought any mangoes? But any can be used after if in affirmative sentence. If you need any money, I will help you. Some is used in questions which are really offers or requests or which expect the answer yes. Will you have some ice cream? Offer. Could you lend me some money? Request. Did you buy some clothes? I expect you did. 100. Each, every. Each and every are similar in meaning, but every is a stronger word than each. It means each without exception. Each is used in speaking of two or more things. Every is used only in speaking of more than two. Each directs attention to the individual forming any group. Every to the total group. Each is used only when the number in the group is limited and definite. Every when the number is indefinite. Every seat was taken. 5 boys were seated on each bench. Each one of this chair is broken. Leap year falls in every 4th year. He came to see us every 3 days. It rained every day during my holiday. I was away 10 days and it rained each day. 101. Little, a little, the little. Note carefully the use of first, little, second, a little, third, the little. Little means not much, that is, hardly any. Thus, the adjective little has a negative meaning. There is little hope of his recovery, that is, he is not likely to recover. He showed little concern for his nephew. He has little influence with his old followers. He showed little mercy to the vanquished. He has little appreciation of good poetry. A little means some though not much. A little has a positive meaning. There is a little hope of his recovery. A little tact would have saved the situation. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. The little means not much but all there is. The little information had was not quite reliable. The little knowledge of carpentry that he possessed stood him in a good seat. The sentence means the knowledge of carpentry he possessed was not much, but all that knowledge stood him in good stead. 102. Few, a few, the few. Note carefully the use of the following. First, few. Second, a few. Third, the few. Few means not many, hardly any. Few has a negative meaning. Few persons can keep a secret. Few people are so hopeless as drunkards. A few means some. A few has a positive meaning and is opposed to none. A few words spoken in earnest will convince him. A few Parsis write Gujarati correctly. A few Parsis write Gujarati correctly. The few means not many, but all there are. The few remarks that he made were very suggestive. The sentence means the remark that he made were not many, but all those remarks were very suggestive. The few friends he has are all very poor. The few clothes that had were all tattered and torn. Chapter 14. Articles. 103. The article a or an and the are called articles. They come before nouns. 104. There are two articles, a or an and the. 105. A or an is called the indefinite article because it is usually leaves indefinite the person or thing spoken of as. A doctor, that is any doctor. 106. The is called the definite article because it normally points out some particular person or thing, as he saw the doctor, meaning some particular doctor. The indefinite article is used before singular countable nouns. Example, a book, an orange, a girl. The definite article is used before singular countable nouns, plural countable nouns, and uncountable nouns. Example, the book, the books, the milk. A or an. 107. The choice between a and an is determined by sound. Before a word being with a vowel, sound an is used as an ass, an enemy, an ink pad, an orange, an umbrella, an hour, an honest man, and higher. It will be noticed that the word are, honest, higher begin with a vowel sound as the initial consonant H is not pronounced. 108. Before a word beginning with a consonant sound A is used as a boy, a reindeer, a woman, a yard, a horse, a hole. Also a university, a union, a union, a European, a eve, a unicorn, a useful article. Because this word university, union, etc. begin with a consonant sound, that of YU, similarly we say a 1 rupee note, such a one-eyed man. Because one begins with the consonant sound of W. 109. Some native speakers use an above words beginning with H if the first syllable is not stressed. An hotel, more common a hotel. An historical novel, more common a historical novel. Use of the definite article. 110. The definite article the is used. First, when we talk about a particular person or thing or one already referred to, that is, when it is clear from the context which one we mean, as the book you want is out of print. Which book? The book you want. Let's go to the park means the park in the town. The girl cried. The girl means the girl already talked about. Second, when a singular noun is meant to represent a whole class, as the cow is a useful animal, the horse is a noble animal, the cat loves comfort, the rose is the sweetest of all flowers, the banyan is a kind of a fig tree. The two nouns man and woman can be used in general senses without either article. Man is the only animal that uses fire. Woman is man's mate. But in present day English, a man and a woman or men and women are more usual. A woman is more sensitive than a man. Third, before some proper names, these kind of place names. Oceans and seas, example, the Pacific, the Black Sea. Rivers, example, the Ganga, the Nile. Canals, example, the Suez Canal. Desert, example, the Sahara. Fourth, before the name of certain books as the Vedas, the Ramayana. But we say Homer's Iliad, Valmiki's Ramayana. Fifth one, before name of thing unique of the kind as the sun, the sky, the ocean, the sea, the earth. Note, sometimes the is placed before a common noun to give it the meaning of an abstract noun, as at least the warrior, the warlike or martial spirit in him was truly aroused. Sixth, before a proper noun, when it is qualified by an adjective or a defining adjectival clause, as the great Caesar, the immortal Shakespeare, the Mr. Roy whom you met last night is my uncle. 7. The superlative, as the darkest cloud has a silver lining. This is the best book of elementary chemistry. 8. With ordinals, as he was the first man to arrive. The 9th chapter of the book is very interesting. 9th, before musical instruments, he can play the flute. 10. Before an adjective, when the nouns understood, as the poor are always with us. 11. Before a noun with emphasis, to give the force of a superlative, as the verb is the word, which means the chief word in a sentence. 12. As an adverb with comparatives, as the more the merrier. By how much more? By so much the merrier. The more they get, the more they want. Use of the indefinite articles. 111. The indefinite article is used first in its original numerical sense of one, as 12-inch make a foot. Not a word was said. A word to the wise is sufficient. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Second, in the vague sense of a certain, as a Kishore Kumar, a certain person named Kishore Kumar is suspected by the police. One evening, a beggar came to my door. Third, in the sense of any, to single out an individual as the representative of a class, as a pupil should obey his teacher. A cow is a useful animal. Fourth, to make a common noun of a proper noun, as a Daniel come to judgment. A Daniel means a very wise man. Omission of the article. 112. The article is omitted. First, before names of substances and abstract noun, that is, uncountable nouns, used in general sense, as sugar is bad for your teeth, gold is a precious metal, wisdom is the gift of heaven, honesty is the best policy, virtue is its own reward. Note, uncountable nouns take the when used in a particular sense, especially when qualified by an adjective or adjectival phrase or clause, as Would you pass me the sugar? The wisdom of Solomon is great. I can't forget the kindness with which he treated me. Second, before plural countable nouns used in a general sense as children like chocolates. Computers are used in many offices. Note that such nouns that the when used with a particular meaning as where are the children? Are children. Third, most before most proper nouns except those referred to earlier, namely name of people, example Gopal, Rahim, name of continent, countries, cities, etc. Example Europe, Pakistan, Nagpur. Name of individual mountains, example Mount Everest, individual islands, lakes, hills, etc. 4. Before names of meals used in a general sense as what time do you have lunch? Dinner is ready. Note, we use when there is an adjective before breakfast, lunch, dinner, etc. We use the when we specify. I had a late lunch today. The dinner we had at the tourist hotel was very nice. Fifth, before languages, as we are studying English. They speak Punjabi at home. Sixth, before school, college, university, church, bed, hospital, prison, when these places are visited or used for the primary purpose, as I learned French at school. We go to church on Sundays. He stayed in bed till 9 every morning. My uncle is still in hospital. Note, the is used with these words when we refer to them as a definite place, building, or object rather than to the normal activity that goes on there. As the school is very near my office. I met him at the church. The bed is broken. I went to the hospital to see my uncle. 7. Before names of relations like father, mother, uncle, aunt, and also cook and nurse, meaning our cook, our nurse, as father has returned. Aunt wants you to see her. Cook has given notice. 8. Before predictive nouns denoting a unique position, that is, a position, that is normally held at one time by one person only, as he was elected chairman of the board. Mr. Banerjee became principal of the college in 1995. 9th. In certain phrases consisting of a transitive verb followed by its object as to catch fire, to take breath, to give battle, to cast anchor, to send word, to bring word, to give ear, to lay siege, to set sail, to lose heart, to set foot, to leave home, to strike root, to take offense. 10. In certain phrases consisting of a preposition followed by its object as at home, in hand, in depth, by day, by night, at daybreak, at sunrise, at noon, at sunset, at night, at anchor, at sight, on demand, on interest, on earth, by land, by water, by river, by train, by steamer, by name, on horseback, on foot, on deck, in jest, at dinner, at ease, underground, above ground. Repetition of the article 113. If I say, I have a black and white dog, I mean a dog that is partially black and partially white. But if I say, I have a black and a white dog, I mean two dogs, one black and the other white. Hence, when two or more adjectives qualify the same noun, the article is used before the first adjective only. But when they qualify different nouns, expressed or understood, the article is normally used before each adjective. 114. Compare. The secretary and treasurer is absent. Second, the secretary and the treasurer are absent. The first sentence clearly indicates that the post of secretary and treasurer are held by one person. The repetition of the article in the second sentence indicates that the two posts are held by two different persons. Hence, we see that when two or more connected nouns refer to the same person or thing, the article is ordinarily used before the first only. But when two or more connected nouns refer to different persons or things, the article is used before each. Also examining the following sentences. Sir Surendranath was a great orator and statesman. There are one of the committee among others, a great economist and a great lawyer. 115. We may either say the third and the fourth chapter or the third and fourth chapter. 116. In expressing a comparison, if two nouns refer to the same person or thing, the article is used before the noun only, as he is better mechanic than clerk, he is a better poet than novelist, she is a better thinker than debater, he would make a better engineer than lawyer. But if they refer to different persons or things, the article must be used with each noun, as he is a better mechanic than a clerk would make. He would make a better statesman than a philosopher would make. Chapter 15. Personal pronouns. We may say Hari is absent because Hari is ill. But it is better to avoid the repetition of the noun Hari and say Hari is absent because he is ill. A word that is thus used instead of a noun is called a pronoun. Pronoun means for a noun. Definition. A pronoun is a word used instead of a noun. 118. Read the following sentences. I am young. You are young. We are young. They are young. He, she, it is young. I, we, you, he, she, it. They are called personal pronouns because they stand for the three persons. First, the person speaking. Second, the person spoken to. And third, the person spoken of. The pronouns I and we, which denote the person or person speaking, are said to be personal pronouns of the first person. The pronoun you, which denotes the person or person spoken to, is said to be a personal pronoun of the second person. You is used both in the singular and plural. The pronouns he, she, and they, which denote the person or person spoken of, are said to be personal pronouns of the third person. It, although denotes the thing spoken of, it also is also called a personal pronoun of the third person. The personal pronoun of the third person are strictly speaking demonstrative pronouns. Forms of the personal pronoun. 119. The following are the different forms of personal pronoun. First person, masculine or feminine. Singular to plural. In nominative, I to we. In possessive, my, mine to our, ours. Accusative, me to us. Second person, masculine or feminine. Singular or plural. Nominative, you. Possessive, yours, yours. Your. Accusative, you. Third person, singular. Masculine, he. Feminine, she. Neuter, it. Plural, all gender, they. This belong to nominative. Possessive, masculine, his. Feminine, her, hers. Neuter, its. Plural, their, theirs. Accusative, singular under. Masculine, him. Feminine, her. Neuter, it. Plural for all genders, them. Note 1. It will be seen that the possessive case of most of the personal pronouns have two forms. One of these, the form my, our, her, their, are called possessive adjectives because they are used with nouns and do the work of adjectives, as this is my book, those are your book, this is her book. Possessive adjectives are sometimes called pronominal adjectives, as they are formed by pronouns. Note 2. The word his is used both as an adjective and as a pronoun, as this is his book, this book is his. First one was possessive adjective, second one was possessive pronoun. In the following sentence, the word in italic are possessive pronouns. The book is mine. Mine is possessive pronoun. Those books are yours. Yours is possessive pronoun. That book is hers. Hers is possessive pronoun. That idea of yours is excellent. Yours is an possessive pronoun. 120. The pronoun of the third person have three genders. First, masculine, he, feminine, she, neuter, it. 112. It. The pronoun it is used first for things without life, as here is your book, take it away. Second, for animals, unless we clearly wish to speak of them as male or female, as he loves his dog and cannot do without it. The horse fell and broke its leg. Third, for a young child, unless we clearly wish to refer to the sex, as when I saw the child, it was crying. The baby has torn its clothes. Fourth, to refer to some statement going before. He is telling what is not true, and he knows it. He deserves his punishment, and he knew it. Fifth, as a provisional and temporary subject before the verb to be when the real subject follows as. It is easy to find fault. To find fault is easy. It is doubtful whether he will come. It is certain that you are wrong. 6. To give emphasis to noun or pronoun following as. It was you who began to quarrel. It was I who first protested. It was at Versailles that the treaty was made. It is a silly fish that is caught twice with the same bait. It is an ill wind that blows nobody's good. 7. As an indefinite nominative or a impersonal verb, as it rains, it snows, it thunders. The pronoun it here seems to stand for no noun whatever, though this can be readily supplied from the verb. Thus, it rains means the rain rains. It so used is called as impersonal pronoun. So also the verb rain is here called as impersonal verb. 8. In speaking of the weather of the time, as it is fine, it is winter, it is 10 o'clock. 122. Since a personal pronoun is used instead of a noun, it must be of the same number, gender, and person as the noun for which it stands. As Rama is a kind boy, he has lent his bicycle to Govind. Sita helps her mother in household work, she also does her lesson. Those beggars are idle, they refuse to work for their living. 123. When a pronoun stands for a collective noun, it must be in a singular number and neuter gender. If the collective noun is viewed as a whole, as the army had to suffer terribly primitive in its march, the fleet will reach its destination in a week. The crew mutinied and murdered its officers. After a few minutes, the jury gave its verdict. If the collective noun conveys the idea of separate individual comprising the whole, the pronoun standing for it must be of all the plural numbers, as the jury were divided in their opinion. The committee decided the matter without leaving their seats. 124. When two or more singular nouns are joined by and, the pronoun used for them must be plural, as Rama and Hari work hard. They are praised by their teacher. Both Sita and Savitri are tired. They have gone home. But when two singular nouns joined by and refer to the same person or thing, the noun must be of course be singular, as the secretary and treasurer is negligent of his duty. 125. When two singular nouns joined by and are preceded by each or every, and pronoun must be singular, as every soldier and every sailor was in his place. 126. When two or more singular nouns are joined by or either or neither nor, the pronoun is generally singular as Rama or Hari must lend his hand. Either Sita or Amina forgot to take her parcel. Neither Abdul nor Karim has done his lessons. 127. When a plural noun and a singular noun are joined by or not, nor, the pronoun must be in the plural as either the manager or his assistant failed in their duty. 128. When a pronoun refers to more than one noun or pronoun of different persons, it must be of the first person plural in preference to the second, and the second person plural in preference to the third, as you and I have done our duty. You and Hari have idled away your time. 129. Good manners require that we should have you and I, not I and you. You and he, not he and you. Hari and I, not I and Hari. He and I, not I and he. You and I must work together. You and he must mend your ways. Hari and I are old school friends. He and I can never pull on together. 130. Each of the personal pronoun I, he, she, we, they had a different form from the accusative case, namely me, him, her, us, them. It is a common mistake to use for me when the pronoun is connected by a conjunction and or with some other words in the accusative case. Study the following correct sentences. The presents are for you and me, not I. My uncle asked my brother and me to dinner. 131. Note that but is a preposition in the following sentence. Nobody will help you but me, not I. Take care to use the accusative form after but in such cases. Chapter 16. Reflexive and empathetic pronouns. 132. When self is added to my, your, him, her, it, and selves to our, your, them, we get what are called compound personal pronouns. They are called reflexive pronouns when the action done by the subject turns back, reflects upon the subject, as I hurt myself. We hurt ourselves. You will hurt yourself. You will hurt yourselves. He hurt himself. She hurt herself. The horse hurt itself. They hurt themselves. It will be noticed that each of these reflexive pronouns is used as the object of a verb and refers to the same person or thing as the denoted by the subject of the verb. 133. Sometimes in older English, especially in poetry, a simple pronoun was used reflexively as now I lay me down to sleep. 134. The word self is sometimes used as noun as to thine my own self be true. He cares for nothing but self. He thinks much of self. Empathetic pronouns. Now look at the following sentences. I will do it myself. I myself saw him do it. He will see to it ourselves. We'll see to it ourselves. You yourself can best explain. He himself said so. She herself says so. It was told so by the teacher himself. He saw the Prime Minister himself. The town itself is not very large. They themselves admitted their guilt. It will be seen that here compound personal pronouns are used for the sake of emphasis and are therefore called empathetic pronouns. Chapter 17. Demonstrative, indefinite, and distributive pronouns. 136. Consider the following sentences. This is a present from my uncle. These are merely excuses. Both cars are good, but this is better than that. Mumbai mangoes are better than those of Bangalore. Make haste, that's a good boy. Here there means one who makes haste. It will be noticed that the pronouns are used to point out the objects to which they refer and are therefore called demonstrative pronouns. 137. This, that, etc. are demonstrative adjectives when they are used with nouns. This book is mine. That pen is yours. These books are mine. Those pens are yours. What was that noise? This horse is better than that horse. All such people ought to be avoided. 138. This refers to what is close at hand and nearest to the thought or person of the speaker. That refers to what is over there, farther away, and more remote. That is better than that. This is better than that. 139. That, with its plural those, is used to avoid the repetition of a preceding noun, as the climate of Belgaum is like that of Pune. The streets of this city are worse than those of Ahmedabad. Our soldiers were better drilled than those of enemies. The rivers of America are larger than those of Europe. 140. When two things which have been already mentioned are referred to, this refers to the thing last mentioned. That to the things first mentioned, as virtue and vice offer themselves for your choice. This, that is vice, leads to misery. That is virtue, to happiness. Alcohol and tobacco are both injurious. This perhaps less than that. Indefinite pronouns. 141. Consider the following sentences. One hardly know what to do. None of his poems are well known. None but fool have ever believed it. All were drowned. Some are born great. Some say he is sharper. Nobody was there to rescue the child. Few escaped unhurt. Many of them were Gurkhas. We did not see any of them again. One or other of us will be there. Do good to others. Did you ask anybody to come? What is everybody's business in nobody's business? His words are in everyone's mouth. All these pronouns refer to persons or things in a general way, but do not refer to any person or thing in particular. They are therefore called indefinite pronouns. 142. Most of these words may also be used as adjectives. I will take you there one day. Any fool can do that. He is a man of few words. Some milk was spilled. 143. In referring to anybody, everybody, everyone, anyone, each, etc., the pronoun he or she is used according to the context, as I shall be glad to help everyone of my boys in his studies. Note that today it is more usual to use a plural pronoun they, them, their, except in very formal English. Anybody can do it if they try. Each of them had their share. Distributive pronoun. 144. Consider the following sentence. Each of the boys get a prize. Each took it in turn. Either of these roads lead to the railway station. Either of you can go. Neither of the accusations is true. Each, either, neither are called distributive pronouns because they refer to persons or things one at a time. For this reason, they are always singular and as such followed by the verb in the singular. Note, each is used to denote every one of a number of person or things taken singly. Either means the one or the other of two. Neither means not the one nor the other of two. It is the negative of either. Hence, either and neither should be used only in speaking of two persons or things. When more than two are spoken of, any, no one, none should be used. 145. The position of the pronoun each should be noticed. It may have three positions. First, each of the men received a reward. Each of these horses cost 5,000 rupees. I bought each of these mangoes for 3 rupees. Second, these men received each a reward. These horses cost each 5,000 rupees. Third, these horses cost 5,000 rupees each. I bought 3 mangoes for 3 rupees each. The third order is usually after a numeral. We do not say the man received a reward each, but we say the men received 500 rupees each. 146. In the following sentence, each, either and neither are used as adjectives. They are followed by nouns of the singular number. Each boy took his turn. Neither accusation is true. At either end was a marble statue. Here either is equals to each or both. 147. Study the following sentences. First, the two men hate each other. They cheat one another. If we analyze them, they mean first, the two men hate, each hates the other. Second, they cheated, one cheated another. Each of one really belong to the subject. Other and another are object, but each other and one another have become in practice compound pronouns called reciprocal pronouns and are rarely separated even by a preposition. Thus we say the brothers quarrel with each other. They all gave evidence against one another. Note the one-time rule that each other should be used in speaking of two persons or things. One another is speaking of more than two is no longer strictly observed. The three brothers quarreled with each other is now accepted as idiomatic. Chapter 18. Relative pronouns. 148. Reading the following pairs of sentences. Read the following pairs of sentences. First, I met Hari. Hari had just returned. Second, I have found the pen. I lost the pen. Third, here is the book. You lend me the book. Let us now combine each of the above pairs into one sentence. Thus, first, I met Hari who had just returned. Second, I have found the pen which I lost. Third, here is the book that you lent me. Now let us examine the work done by each of the words who, which and that. The word who is used instead of the noun. Hari it. Therefore does the work of a pronoun. The word who joins or connects two statements. It therefore does the work of a conjunction. The word who therefore does double work, the work of a pronoun and also the work of a conjunction. We might therefore call it a conjunctive pronoun. It is however called a relative pronoun because it refers or relates, that is, carries us back to some noun going before. Here the noun Hari, which is called its antecedent. Let the pupils show why, which and that are also relative pronouns in the second and third sentence. What is the antecedent of which in the second sentence? What is the antecedent of that in the third sentence? Forms of relative compounds. 149. The relative pronouns who have different forms for accusing and genitive, singular and plural. Nominative, singular and plural who. Genitive, singular and plural whose. Accusative, singular and plural whom or who. This is the boy or girl who worked hard. This is the boy or girl whose exercise is done well. This is the boy or girl whom or who all praise. These are the boys or girls who work hard. These are the boys or girls whose exercises are done well. These are the boys or girls who all praise. This is the boy or girl who work hard. It will be noticed that the forms are the same for singular and plural, masculine and feminine. 150. The relative pronoun which has the same form for the nominative and accusative cases. This is the house which belonged to my uncle. The house which my uncle built cost him rupees 3,50,000. The relative pronoun which has no genitive case but whose is used as a substitute for of which, as a triangle whose three sides are equal is called an equilateral triangle. 151. The relative pronoun that has the same form in the singular or plural as and in the nominative and accusative it has no genitive case. He that is content in rich. He that is content is rich. They that touch pitch will be defiled. Take anything that you like. 152. The relative pronoun what is used only in the singular and has the same form in the nominative and accusative. What has happened is not clear. I say what I mean. He failed in what he attempted. Use of the relative pronouns. 153. As a general rule, who is used for personal only. It may refer to a singular or a plural noun. The man who is honest is trusted. Blessed is he who has found his work. He prayeth best who loveth best. Who replace whom in informal English. He who hastes is lost. He who hesitates is lost. They never fail who die in a great cause. They are slaves who dare not to. In the right with two or three. Who is sometimes used in referring to animals. Whose, the possessive form of who, is used in speaking of persons, animals, and also things without life. See 150. As the sun whose rays give life to earth is regarded by some people as a god. This is the question whose solution has baffled philosophers of all ages. More properly, this is the question the solution of which has baffled philosophers of all ages. 154. Which is used for things without life and for animals. It may refer to a singular or plural noun. The moment which is lost forever. The books which help you most are those which make you think most. The horse which I recently bought is an Arab, which was sometimes formerly used to refer to persons, as Our Father which art in heaven, which may also refer to a sentence as The man was said to be drunk, which was not the case. He said he saw me there, which was a lie. He is there, which is fortune. Note, the relative pronouns who and which can be used. First, to restrict, limit, or define more clearly the antecedent. That is, where the clause introduced by a relative pronoun is restrictive or defining, as the man who had cheated me was yesterday arrested by the police. The book which you see on the table cost me 90 rupees. Second, to give some additional information about the antecedent, that is where the clause introduced by a relative pronoun is continuative or non-defining, as the teacher sent for the boy who, which means and he, came at once. I gave him a rupee, which was all I had with me. Note that non-defining clauses are separated from the main clause by commas. Compare. My brother, who is a doctor, has gone to America. My brother, who is a doctor, has gone to America. Here are the commas after brother, doctor, and a full stop after America. The first sentence implies that the speaker has several brothers, and the clause who is a doctor distinguishes a particular one of them. In the second, the clause does not define, and the implication is that the speaker has only one brother. 155. That is used for personal and things. It may refer to a singular or a plural noun. See 155. That has no genitive case and it is never used as a preposition preceding. This is the boy that I told you of. I know the house that he lives in. Uneasy lie the head that wears a crown. I have lost the watch that you gave me. Thrice is he armed that hath his quarrel just. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. He that is not with me is against me. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. The crowd that gathered cheered him to the echo. It will be noticed that the relative pronoun that is used only in defining clauses, that is, clauses that restrict, limit, or define the antecedent. 156. That may be used as an adverbial accusation, on which, in which, at which, as. I remember the day that he came. On the day that you Easter thereof thou shalt surely die. 157. As the relative pronoun that has a restrictive force, it sometimes becomes unsuitable and the substitute for who or which, thus I cannot say. My father, that is a schoolmaster, is 50 years old. I must say, my father, who is a schoolmaster, is 50 years old. But if it happens to have more than one sister, I can say, my sister that has been adopted by my uncle is ill. 158. The relative pronoun that is used in preference to whom, who, or which. First, after adjective in the superlative degree, as. He was the most eloquent speaker that I ever heard. The wisest man that ever lived made mistakes. That is the best that we can do. Second, after the words all, same, any, none, nothing, the, only, as. All is not gold that glitters. He is the same man that he has been. It only donkeys that bray. It was not nothing that he studied philosophy. Man is the only animal that can talk. Third, after the interrogative pronouns who, what, as. Who that saw he did not pity her? Who am I that I should obey? Who am I that I should object? What is that troubled you so much? What is it that troubled you so much? What is there that I don't know? What is that I do not know? Fourth, after two antecedents, one denoting a person and the other denoting an animal or a thing, as the boy and his dog that had trespassed on the club premises were turned out. 159. What refers to things only. It is used without an antecedent expressed and is equivalent to that which, or the thing which. What, that which, cannot be cured must be endured. I say what I mean what I say. What is done cannot be undone. What man has done, man can do. What is one man's meat is another man's prison. What is one man's meat is another man's poison. Give careful heed to what I say. What I have written, I have written. He found what he was looking for. It will be noticed that what is used in the nominative and accusative singular only. 160. In older English, the word as was used as a relative pronoun after such as. Tears such as angels we burst forth. These mangoes are not such as I brought yesterday. He is such a man as I honor. We have never had such a time as the present. His answer was such as I expected him to give. The word as can be used as a relative pronoun after same as. My trouble in the same as yours. This is not the same as that, but I played with the same bat that you did. The same as usually means of the same kind. The same ... that means one of the same. The word as it also used as a relative pronoun after as followed by an adjective as. I collected as many specimens as I could find. Note, the first as is here an adverb. 161. In older English, the word but was used as a relative pronoun after a negative. It often had the force of a relative pronoun. There is none but will agree with me. There is no Hindu but knows the truth of the Ramayana. There is no man but wishes to live. There is no rose but has some thorns. There is scarcely a child but likes candy. There is no man but knows these things. It will be seen that the pronoun but is here equivalent to who, not, which not. Omission of the relative pronoun. 162. The relative pronoun is generally omitted when it would be in the accusative case, as few and short were the prayers we said. A contented mind is the greatest blessing a man can enjoy in the world. I am monarch of all. I survey. Men must reap the things they sow. That is used preferably with reference to persons. Thus, we tend to say the meeting which I attended yesterday rather than the meeting that I attended yesterday. But more frequently, still, we say the meeting I attended yesterday, the accusative relation being as a rule omitting altogether. Onions. This tendency to omit the accusative relation is more marked in the spoken language. In the written language, its omission is often felt to be undignified. 163. In the following example from poetry, a relative pronoun in the nominative case is omitted. T. This distance lends enlargement to the view. I have a brother is commandment to die. Note, the omission of a relative pronoun in the nominative case is now quite exceptional except in colloquial speech. There's somebody at the door wants to see you. Omission of the antecedent. In older English, the antecedent of a relative pronoun was sometimes left out, as who works not shall not eat, which means he who works not shall not eat. Whom the gods love die young, which means those whom the gods love die young. Who steal my purse steal trash. Who laughs last laughs best. Who has lost all hopes has all lost all fear. Be good, sweet maid, and let who will be clever. Agreement of the relative pronoun and its antecedent. 165. As a relative pronoun refers to a noun or pronoun called its antecedent, it must be of the same number and person as its antecedent. Remember that the verb shows the number and person of the relative pronoun. The boy who was lazy was punished. The boy who went lazy were punished. I, who am your king, will lead you. I am the person that is to blame. We who seek your protection are stranger here. O thou that leadest Israel, you who are mighty should be merciful. You who seek wisdom should be humble. He that is down need fear no fall. He that eats till he is sick must fall till he is well. This who lives in glasshouse should not throw stones. They who seek only for faults see nothing else. The flower which glow in a garden are not for sale. This is the only one of his poem that is not reading, that is worth reading. Of his poem, this is the only one that is worth reading. But the case of relative pronoun depends upon its relation to the verb in the causes in which it occurs. Rama is the boy who did it. Rama is the boy whom I want. Rama is the boy whose pencil I have. Rama is the boy to whom I spoke. He whom we worship, by whose gift we live, is the Lord. Position of the relative pronoun. 166. To prevent ambiguity, the relative pronoun shall be placed as near as possible its antecedents, as the boy who won the first prize in English is the son of my friend Mr. Joshi. It would mean something quite different if we separate the relative pronoun from its antecedent and say, the boy is the son of my friend Mr. Joshi who won the first prize. Again, such a sentence as I have read Gokhale's speech, who was a disciple of Ranade, would be improved if changed to I have read the speeches of Gokhale, who was a disciple of Ranade. So also the following sentences require to be rearranged. I with my family reside in a village near Pune which consists of my wife and 3 children. Compound relative pronouns. 167. Pronouns formed by adding ever, so or soever to who, which, and what are called compound relative pronouns. They are whoever, whoso, whoever so, whichever, whatever, whatsoever, whosoever. These relatives have no antecedent expressed. Whosoever, any and every person who exalt himself shall be abased. Whoso digged a pit shall fall therein. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. 168. The form whoever, whichever, and whatever are now ordinarily used as whoever, that is, any person who comes is welcome. Take whichever, that is, any which you like. I will take with me whomsoever you choose. Whatever, that is, anything which he does well. Chapter 19. Interrogative pronouns. 169. Consider the following sentences. Who is there? Who are you? About whom are you talking? Who are you talking about? Whom do you want? Or who do you want? Whose is this book? Which is this house? Which do you prefer, tea or coffee? What is the matter? What do you want? What will all the neighbors say? It will be noticed that the pronouns are similar in form to relative pronouns, but the work which they do is different. They are here used for asking questions and are therefore called interrogative pronouns. 170. In the following sentences, the interrogative pronouns are used in asking indirect questions. I asked who was speaking. I do not know who is there. Tell me what you have done. Ask what he wants. Say which you would like best. 171. Again, consider the following sentences. Who gave you that knife? Nominative. Whose is this book? Possessive. Whom did you see? Who did you see? To whom were you speaking? Who were you speaking to? Accusative. What is that? Nominative. What do you want? Accusative. Which is he? Nominative. Which do you prefer? Nominative. Nominative consists who. Possessive consists whose. Accusative consists whom or who. Today, the accusative who is more useful than whom, especially in spoken English. What and which do not have different forms for different cases. 172. Who is used of persons only. Who spoke? We expect the answer to the name of a person. Who goes there? Who made the top score? Who is knocking at the door? Who says so? Whose is this umbrella? Whom did you see? 173. Which is used of both persons and things. It implies selection, that is, it implies a question concerning a limited number. Which is your friend? Which are your books? Which of the boys saw him? Which of you has done this? Which of this book is yours? Which of this picture do you like best? Which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit upon his stature? Which will you take? 174. What is used of things only? What have you found? We expect the answer to the name of a thing. What do you want? What did you say? What was it all about? What is sweeter than honey? What are those marks on your coat? 175. In such expression as what are you, what is he, what is this man, the word what does not refer to person but to his profession or employment. What are you? I am a doctor. What is he? He is an engineer. But who is he? What is his name and family? He is Mr. K.P. Roy. 176. In the following sentences, which and what are used as interrogative adjective. Which book are you reading? Which way shall we go? What books have you read? What pranks are you playing? What manner of man is that even the wind and the sea obey him? 177. In the following sentences, the word are used as compound interrogative compound. Whoever told you so? Whatever are you doing? Note, the forms whoever, whichever, whatever are intensive. 178. A pronoun used an exclamation is called an exclamatory pronoun, as what? Still here? I thought you had gone home long ago. What? You don't know Rama? Chapter 20. The verb. Transitive and intransitive verbs. 179. A verb is a word that tells or asserts something about a person or thing. Verb comes from the Latin verbium, a word. It is also called because it is the most important word in a sentence. A verb may tell us first what a person or thing does, as Hari laughs, the clock strikes. Second, what is done to a person or thing, as Hari is scolded, the window is broken. Third, what a person or thing is, as the cat is dead, glass is brittle, I feel sorry. Definition. A verb is a word used to tell or assert something about some person or thing. 180. A verb often consists of more than one word, as the girls were singing. I have learned my lesson. The watch has been found. 181. Read these sentences. The boy kicked the football. The boy laughs loudly. In sentence 1, the action denoted by the verb kicks pass over from the door or subject boy to some object football. The verb kicks in, therefore called a transitive verb. Transitive means passing over. In sentence 2, the action denoted by the verb laugh stops by the door or subject boy and does not pass over to an object. The verb laughs is therefore called an intransitive verb. Intransitive means not passing over. Intransitive means not passing over. Definition. A transitive verb is a verb that denotes an action which passes over from the door or subject to an object. Definition. An intransitive verb is a verb that denotes an action which does not pass over to an object or which expresses a state or being, as he ran a long distance. Action. The baby sleeps. State. There is a flaw in this diamond. Being. Note. Intransitive verbs expressing being take the same case after them as before them. 182. Most transitive verbs take a single object, but most transitive verbs as give, ask, offer, promise, tell, etc. take two objects after them. An indirect object which denotes the person to whom something is given or for whom something is done, and a direct object which is usually the name of something, as his father gave him a watch. Him is indirect, watch is direct. He told me a secret. Me is indirect, secret is direct. 183. Most verbs can use both as transitive and as intransitive verbs. It is, therefore, better to say that a verb is used transitively or intransitively rather than that is transitive or intransitive. Use transitively. First, the ants fought the wasp. Second, the shot sank the ship. Third, ring the bell Rama. Fourth, the driver stopped the train. Fifth, he spoke the truth. Sixth, the horse kicked the man. Seventh, I feel a severe pain in my head. Used intransitively. First, some ants fight very furiously. The ship sank rapidly. Third, the bell rang loudly. The train stopped suddenly. He spoke hauntedly. The horse never kicks. How do you feel? Note, some verb, example, come, go, fall, die, sleep, lie, denote actions which cannot be done to anything. They can therefore never be used transitively. 184. In such a sentence as the man killed himself, where the subject and the object both refer to the same person, the verb is said to be used reflexively. Sometimes, though the verb is used reflexively, the object is not expressed. In the following example, the reflexive pronoun understand is put in brackets. The bubble burst itself. The guests made themselves merry. Please keep yourself quiet. With these words, he turned himself to the door. The Japanese fed themselves chiefly on rice. These verbs may, however, be regarded as pure intransitive without any reflex force whatever. 185. Certain verbs can be used reflexively and also as ordinary transitive verbs, as do not forget his name. I forgot his name. Acquit yourself as man. The magistrate accused him to charge against him. I enjoy myself sitting alone. He enjoys good health. He interested himself in his friend's welfare. His talk does not interest me. His talk does not interest me. Transitive verbs used as transitive. Intransitive verbs used as transitive. 186. When an intransitive verb is used in a causative sense, it becomes transitive. Intransitive to transitive. The horse walks. He walks the horse. The girl ran down the street. The girl ran a needle into her finger. Ran a needle caused a needle to run. Third, birds fly. Under transitive, the boy fly their kites. That is, cause their kites to fly. 187. A few verbs in common use are distinguished as transitive or intransitive by their spelling, the transitive being causative form of the corresponding intransitive verb. Intransitive to transitive. Many trees fall in the monsoon. Under transitive, woodmen fell trees. Fell caused to fall. Lie under intransitive, lie still. Under transitive, lay the basket there. Lay caused to lie. Under intransitive, rise early with the lark. Raise your hand. Under transitive. Sit there. Under intransitive, set the lamp on the table. Under transitive. 188. Some intransitive verb may become transitive by having a preposition added to them, as all his friends laughed at him. He will soon run through his fortune. Please look into the matter carefully. We talked about the affair several times. I wish for nothing more. The police inspector asked for his name. Sometimes the preposition is prefixed to the verb, as Shivaji overcame the enemy. He bravely withstood the attack. The river overflows its banks. 189. Intransitive verbs sometimes take after them as object, akin or similar in meaning to the verb. Such an object is called cognative object or cognate accusative, Lative cognatus akin. I have fought a good fight. He laughed a hearty laugh. I dreamt a strange dream. He sleeps the sleep of the just. Let me die the death of the righteous. He sighed a deep sigh. She sang a sweet song. He ran a race. Aurangzeb lived the life of an ascetic. The noun used as a cognitive object is in the accused's case. The following are examples of partially cognate objects. He ran a great risk. He ran a course of great risk. The children shouted applause. The children shouted a shout of applause. 190. A noun used adverbially to modify a verb, an adjective, or an adverb denoting time, place, distance, weight, value, etc. is called an adverbial object or adverbial accusative, and is said to be in the accusative state adverbially, as he held the post 10 years. I can't wait a moment longer. He went home. He swam a mile. He weighed 7 stone. The watch cost 900 rupees. 191. There are a few transitive verbs which are sometimes used as intransitive verbs. intransitive to transitive. He broke the glass broke. He burnt his finger, he burnt with shame. Stop him from going, we shall stop here a few days. Open all the windows, the show opens at 6 o'clock. Chapter 21. Verbs of incomplete predication. 192. Read the following sentences. The baby sleeps. The baby seems happy. The verb in both these sentences are intransitive, but when I say the baby sleeps, I do make complete sense. On the other hand, if I say the baby seems, I do not make complete sense. The intransitive verb seems require a word, example happy, to make the sense complete. Such a verb is called verb of incomplete predication. The word happy, which is required to make the sense complete, is called the complement of the verb or the completion of the predicate. 193. Verb of incomplete predication usually express the idea of being, becoming, seeming, appearing. The complement usually consists of a noun called a predicative noun or an adjective called as predicative adjective. When the complement describes the subject, as in the following sentence, it is called a subjective complement. First, Tabby is a cat. Second, the earth is round. Third, John became a soldier. Third, Mr. Mehta became mayor. Fifth, the man seems tired. Sixth, you look happy. Seventh, the sky grew darker. 8. Roses smell sweet. 9. Sugar tastes sweet. 10. She appears pleased. 11. This house is to let. Note, when the subjective complement is a noun, as in 134, it is the same case as the subject, that is the nominative case. That is in the nominative case. 194. Certain transitive verbs require, besides an object, a complement to complete their predication, as first, the boy made Rama captain. His parents named him Hari. This made him vain. The jury found him guilty. Rama called his cousin a liar. Exercises made him muscle strong. I consider the man trustworthy. God called the light day. We thought him a rascal. They chose him their leader. Here is each case. The complement describes the object and is therefore called an objective complement. Note, when the objective complement is a noun, as in 1, 2, 5, 8, 9, 10, it is in the objective or accusative case in agreement with the object. Chapter 22. Active and passive voice. 195. Compare. First, Rama helps Hari. Second, Hari is helped by Rama. It will be seen that these two sentences express the same meaning, but in sentence 1, the form of the verb shows that the person denoted by the subject does something. Rama, the person denoted by the subject, does something. The verb helps it said to be in the active voice. In sentence 2, the form of the verb shows that something is done to the person denoted by the subject. Something is done to Hari, the person denoted by the subject. The verb helped is said to be in the passive voice. Definition. A verb is in the active voice when its form shows, as in sentence verb, that the person or thing denoted by the subject does something, or in other words, it is the doer of the action. The active voice is so called because the person denoted by the subject acts. Definition. A verb is in the passive voice when its form shows, as in sentence 2, that something is done by the person or thing denoted by the subject. The passive voice is so called because the person or thing denoted by the subject is not active but passive, that is, suffers or receives some action. Definition. Voice is that form of a verb which shows whether what is denoted by the subject does something or has something done to it. Note the change from the active voice to the passive voice in the following sentences. Active voice to passive voice. First, Sita loves Savitri. Savitri is loved by Sita. Second, the mason is built by the wall. The wall is built by the mason. Third, the peon opened the gate. The gate was opened by the peon. Some boys were helping the wounded man. The wounded man was being held by some boys. Fifth, he will finish the work in a fortnight. The work will be finished by him in a fortnight. Who did this? By whom was this done? 7. Why did your brother write such a letter? Why was such a letter written by your brother? It will be noticed that when the verb is changed from the active voice to passive voice, the object and the transitive verb in the active voice become the subject of the verb in the passive voice. Thus, in sentence 1, Savitri, which is the object of loves in the active voice, becomes the subject of is loved in the passive voice. Since the object of a verb in the active voice becomes the subject of the passive voice, it follows that only transitive verbs can be used in passive voice because an intransitive verb has no object. 196. The passive voice is formed with the suitable tenses of the verb be followed by the past participle. Study this table. First column tense, second column active voice, third column passive voice. First, simple tense, simple present. Active voice take, takes. Passive voice am taken, is taken, are taken. Under tense, present continuous. Active voice am taking, is taking, are taking. Passive voice am being taken, is being taken, are being taken. Present perfect. Under active voice has taken, have taken. Under passive voice has been taken, have been taken. Simple past. Under active voice took, under passive voice was taken, were taken. Past continuous. Under active voice was taking, were taking. Under passive voice was being taken, were being taken. Past perfect. Active voice had taken, passive voice had been taken. Simple future. Active voice will take, shall take. Passive voice will be taken, shall be taken. Must etc. plus base. Can take, must take, can be taken, must be taken. 197. Students must know when to use the active voice and when to use passive voice. The ability to change the active voice into the passive voice and vice versa is not sufficient. The active voice is used when the agent is to be made prominent. The passive when the person or thing act upon is to be made prominent. The passive is therefore generally preferred when the active form would involve the use of an indefinite or vague pronoun or noun as subject. That is, when we do not know the agent or when it is clear enough who the agent is. My pen has been stolen. Somebody has stolen my pen. I was asked my name. They asked me my name. English is spoken all over the world. People speak English all over the world. I have been invited to the party. Someone has invited me to the party. All orders will be executed promptly. We will execute all orders promptly. In such cases, the agent with by is usually avoided. Note, however, that as in the example given earlier, the by phrase cannot be avoided where the agent has some important and is necessary to complete the sense. 198. When verbs that take both a direct and an indirect object in the active voice are changed to passive, either object may become the subject or the passive verb while the other is retained. Active. The guard refused him admittance. Passive. Admittance was refused to him by the guard. He was refused admittance by the guard. Mr. Krishnaji teaches us grammar. Grammar is taught to us by Mr. Krishnaji. We are taught grammar by Mr. Krishnaji. The manager will give you a ticket. A ticket will be given to you by the manager. You will be given a ticket by the manager. Who fought you French? By whom was French taught you? Who were you taught French by? By whom were you taught French? He handed her a check. A check was handed to her. She was handed a check. An indirect object denotes the person to whom or for whom something is given or done, while a direct object usually denotes a thing. In case like the above, it is probably more usual for passive construction to begin with the person. 199. Note that we use with, not by, to talk about an instrument used by the agent. Compare. The dog was hitting with a stick. Active voice. Somebody hit the dog with a stick. The dog was hit by a boy. Active voice. A boy hit the dog. 200. There are a few transitive verbs which, even in an active form, are sometimes used in a passive sense, as these mangoes taste sour, that is, are sour when they are tasted. The rose smells sweet, that is sweet when it is smelled. The cakes eat short and crisp, that is, are short and crisp when they are eaten. At least the play reads well, that is, affects the reader while when it is read. 201. We give below further examples for the interchange of active and passive voice. Active. All his friends laughed at him. Passive. He was laughed at by all his friends. Active. They made him king. Passive. He was made king. Active. They use video for teaching the students. Passive. Video used for teaching the students. Active. One should keep one's promise. Passive. Promises should be kept. Active. When will you return the book? Passive. When will the book be returned? Active. Someone has picked my pocket. Passive. My pocket has been picked. Active. Circumstances will oblige me to go. Passive. I shall be obliged to go. Chapter 23. Mood. 202. The simplest use of a verb is to make a statement of fact or ask a question, as I write to my brother every week. Who wrote that letter? But a verb may also be used to express a command, as write neatly. Or a verb may be used to express a mere supposition, as if I were you, I would not do it. These different moods or manners in which a verb may be used to express an action are called moods. Definition. Mood is the mode or manner in which the action denoted by the verb is represented. 203. There are three moods in English: indicative, imperative, subjective. Indicative mood. 204. The indicative mood is used first to make a statement of fact, as Rama goes to school daily. We are taught arithmetic. He writes legibly. Napoleon died at St. Helena. The child is alive. Second, to ask a question, as have you found your book? Are you well? In each of these statements, the verb is said to be in the inadequate mood. 205. The inadequate mood is also used in expressing a supposition which is assumed as a fact, as if, assuming as a fact that I am to be a beggar, it shall never make a rascal. If it rain, I shall stay at home, assuming as a fact that it will rain. If my friend watches it, I shall give it to him, assuming as a fact that my friend wants it. If he is the ringleader, he deserves to be punished, assuming as a fact that he is the ringleader. A verb which makes a statement or fact or asks a question or expresses a supposition which is assumed as a fact, it is the inadequate mood. Imperative mood. 206. The imperative mood is used to express first a command, as wait there, come here, open a book at page 7. Second, an exhortation, as be steady, take care of your health, try to do better. Third, an entreaty or prayer, have mercy upon us, give us this day are deliberate. In each of these sentences, the verb is said to be in the imperative mood, a verb which expresses a command or exhortation. An entreaty or prayer is in the imperative mood. Note 1. The imperative mood can strictly be used only in the second person, since the person commanded must be the person spoken to, but in the first and third person, a like sense is expressed by the use of auxiliary verb. Let us, let me go, let us go, let him go, let them go. Note 2. The subject of a verb in the imperative mood you is usually omitted. Subjective mood. 207. The following are the forms of the subjective: present subjective, past subjective. The verb be, other verb. I be, I speak. We be, we speak. You be, you speak. He be, he speak. They be, they speak. Past subjective. The verb be, other verbs. I were, I spoke. We were, we spoke. You were, you spoke. He were, he spoke. They were, they spoke. The subjective mood scarcely exists in present day English. 208. The present subjective occurs. First, in certain tradition phrases, there it is expressed a wish or hope. God bless you. God save the king. Heaven help us. Second, in formal English, in a noun clause depending on a verb expressing desire, intention, resolution, etc. I move that Mr. Gupta be appointed chairman. It is suggested that a ring road be built to relieve the congestion. We recommended that the description be increased to 10 rupees. 209. The past subjective is used. First, after the verb wish to indicate a situation which is unreal or contrary to fact, as I wish I knew his name. I wish I were a millionaire. She wishes the car belonged to you. Second, after if, to express improbability or unreality in the presence, as if I were you, I should not do that, but I am not you and never can be. If we started now, we would be in time, but we cannot start now. After, as, if, as, though, to indicate unreality or improbability. He orders me about as if I were his wife, but I am not. He walks as though he were drunk, but he is not. Fourth, after it is time plus subject to imply that it is late, as it is time we started. Fifth, after would rather plus subject to indicate preference, as I would rather you went by air. They would rather you paid them by check. Chapter 24. Tenses. Introduction. 210. Read the following sentences. First, I write this letter to please you. Second, I wrote this letter in his very presence. Third, I shall write another letter tomorrow. In first letter, the verb write refers to present time. In sentence 2, the verb wrote refers to past time. In sentence 3, the verb shall writes refer to future time. Thus, a verb may refer first to present time, second to past time, third to future time. 211. A verb that refers to present time is said to be in the present tense, as I write, I love. The word tense comes from the Latin tempus time. A verb that refers to past time is said to be in the past tense, as I wrote, I love. A verb that refers to future time is said to be in future tense, as I shall write, I shall love. 212. Thus there are three main tenses: the present, the past, the future. The tense of a verb shows the time of an action or event. Note, sometimes a past tense may refer to present time and a present tense may express future time, as I wish I knew the answer. I'm sorry I don't know the answer. Past tense, present tense. Let's wait till he comes. present tense, future tense. 213. Below we give the chief tenses: active voice, inadequate mood of the verb to love. Present tense, singular, first person, I love, singular number, plural number, we love. Second person, singular number, you love, plural number, you love. Third person, singular number, he loves, plural number, they love. Past tense, first person, singular number, I loved, plural number, we loved. Second person, singular number, you loved, plural number, you love. Third person, singular number, he loved, plural number, they loved. Future tense, first person, I shall or will love, plural tense, we shall or will love. Second person, you will love, you will love. Third person, singular number, he will love, plural number, they will love. 214. Read these sentences. First, I love, simple present. I am loving, present continuous. I have loved, present perfect. I have been loving, present perfect continuous. The verbs in all of these sentences refer to the present time and are therefore said to be in the present tense. In sentence 1, however, the verb shows that the action is maintained simply without anything being said about the completeness or incompleteness of the action. In sentence 2, the verb shows that the action is mentioned as incomplete or continuous, that is, as still going on. In sentence 3, the verb shows that the action is mentioned as finished, complete, or perfect at the time of speaking. The tense of the verb in sentence 4 is said to be present perfect continuous because the verb shows that the action is going on continuously and not completely at the present moment. Thus, we see that the tense of a verb shows not only the time of an action or event but also the state of an action referred to. 215. Just as the present tense has 4 forms, the past tense also has the following forms. I loved, simple past. I was loving, past continuous. I had loving, past perfect. I had been loving, past perfect continuous. Similarly, the future tense has the following 4 forms. First, I shall or will love, simple future. I shall or will be loving, future continuous. I shall or will have loved, future perfect. I shall have been loving, future perfect continuous. We may now define tenses as that forms of verb which shows the time and the state of an action or event. 216. A verb agrees with its subject in number and person. Study the verb forms of various tenses. Simple present tense, I speak. Present continuous tense, I am speaking. Simple present tense to present continuous tense. You speak, you are speaking. He speak, he is speaking. We speak, we are speaking. They speak, they are speaking. Present perfect tense to present perfect continuous tense. I have spoken, I have been speaking. You have spoken, you have been speaking. He has spoken, he has been speaking. We have spoken, we have been speaking. They have spoken, they have been speaking. Simple past tense, past to past continuous tense. I spoke, I was speaking. You spoke, you were speaking. He spoke, he was speaking. We spoke, we were speaking. They spoke, they were speaking. Past perfect tense to past perfect continuous tense. I had spoken, I had been speaking. You had spoken, you had been speaking. He had spoken, he had been speaking. We had spoken, we had been speaking. They had spoken, they had been speaking. Simple future tense. I shall or will speak. I shall or will be speaking. You will speak, you will be speaking. He will speak, he will be speaking. We shall or will speak, we shall or will be speaking. They will speak, they will be speaking. Future perfect tense to future perfect continuous tense. I shall or will have spoken. I shall or have been speaking. You will have spoken. You will have been speaking. He will have spoken, he will have been speaking. We shall or will have spoken, he shall or will have speaking. They will have spoken, they will have been speaking. Chapter 25. The use of the present and past tense and perfect tense. Chapter 25. The uses of the present and past tenses. Present tense. Simple present tense. 217. The simple present is used first to express a habitual action, as he drinks tea every morning, I get up every day at 5 o'clock, my watch keeps good time. Second, to express general truth. The sun rises in the east, honey is sweet, fortune favors the brave. Third, the exclamatory sentences beginning with here and there to express what is actually taking place in present. Here comes the bus, there she goes. Fourth, in vivid narrative, as substituted for simple past, as Saurabh now rushes forward and deals a heavy blow to Rustam. Immediately the Sultan hurries to his capital. Fifth, to express a future event that is part of a fixed timetable or fixed program. The next flight is at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. The next match starts at 9 o'clock. The train leaves at 5:20. When does the coffee house reopen? 218. Note also the other uses of simple present tense. First, it is used to introduce quotation, as it says a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Second, it is used instead of the simple future tense in clause of time and of condition, as it shall wait till you finish your lunch. If it rains, we shall get wet. Third, as it broadcasts commentaries on sport events, the simple present is used instead of the present continuous to describe activities in progress where there is stress on the succession of happening rather than on the duration. Fourth, the simple present is used instead of the present continuous with a type of verbs referred to in 221 below. Present continuous tense. 219. The present continuous is used first for an action going on at the time of speaking, as she is singing now. The boys are playing hockey. Second, for a temporary action which may not be actually happening all the time of speaking, as I am reading David Copperfield, but I am not reading at this moment. Third, for an action that has already been arranged to take place in the near future, as I am going to the cinema tonight. My uncle is arriving tomorrow. 220. It has been pointed out before that the simple present is used for a habitual action. However, when the reference is to particular obstinate habit, some things which persist, for example, in spite of advice or warning, we use the present continuous with an adverb like always, continually, constantly. My dog is very silly. He is always running out into the road. 221. The following verbs, on account of their meaning, are not normally used in the continuous form. First, verbs of perception. Example, see, hear, smell, notice, recognize. Second, verbs of appearing. Example, appear, look, seem. Third, verbs of emotion. Example, want, wish, desire, feel, like, love, hate, hope, refuse, prefer. Fourth, verbs of thinking. Example, think, suppose, believe, agree, consider, trust, remember, forget, know, understand, imagine, mean, mind. Fifth, have, possession, own, possess, belong to, contain, consist of, be, except where. Used in the passive. Example, wrong, to right. These grapes are tasting sour. 2. This grape tastes sour. I am thinking you are wrong. 2. I think you are wrong. She is seeing sad. She seems sad. He is having a cell phone. to he has a cell phone. However, the verb listed above can be used in the continuous tense with a change of meaning. She is tasting the soup to see if it needs more salt. Taste equals taste the flavor of. I am thinking of going to Malaysia. Thinking of, consider the idea of. They are having lunch. Have equals eat. Present perfect tense. 222. The present perfect is used first to indicate complete activity in the immediate past with just as. He has just gone out. It had just struck then. It has just struck 10. Second, to express past action whose time is not given and not defined as. Have you read Gulliver Travels? I have never known him to be angry. Mr. Hari has been to Japan. Third, to describe past events when we think more of the effects in the present than the action itself. As Gopi has eaten all the biscuits, that is, there aren't any left for you. I have cut my finger and it's bleeding now. I have finished my work. Now I am free. Fourth, to denote an action being at some time in the past and continuing up to the present moment, often with since and for phrase, as I have known him for a long time. He has been ill since last week. We have lived there for 10 years. We haven't seen Padma for several months. 223. The following adverbs or adverb phrase can also be used with the present perfect, apart from those mentioned above. Never, ever in question only. So far, till now, yet in negative and questions. Already, today, this week, this month, etc. Note, the present perfect is never used with adverb of past time. We should not say, for example, he has gone to Calcutta yesterday. In such case, the simple past should be used. He went to Calcutta yesterday. Present perfect continuous tense. 224. The present perfect continuous is used for an action which began at some time in the past and is still going on, as he has been sleeping for 5 hours and is still sleeping. They have been building the bridge for several months. They have been playing since 4 o'clock. 225. The tense is also sometimes used for an action already finished. In such cases, the community of the activity is emphasized as an explanation of something. Why are your clothes so wet? I have been watering the garden. Past tense. Simple past tense. 226. The simple past is used to indicate an action completed in the past. I often occur with adverb or adverb phrase of past time. The steamer sailed yesterday. I received his letter a week ago. She left school last year. 227. Sometimes this tense is used without an adverb of time. In such cases, the time may be either implied or indicated by the context. I learnt Hindi in Nagpur. I didn't sleep well last night. Babar defeated Ransanga at Kanwaha. 228. The simple past is also used for past habits, as he studied many hours every day. She always carried an umbrella. Past continuous tense. 229. The past continuous is used to denote an action going on at some time in the past. The time of the action may or may not be indicated. We were listening to the radio all evening. It was getting darker. The light went out while I was reading. When I saw him, he was playing chess. As in the last two examples above, the past continuous and simple past are used together when a new action happened in the middle of a longer action. The simple past is used for the new action. 230. This tense is also used with always, continually, etc. for persistent habits in the past. He was always grumbling. Past perfect tense. 231. The past perfect describes an action completed by a certain moment in the past, as I met him in New Delhi in 1996. I had seen him last 5 years before. 232. If two actions happened in the past, it may be necessary to show what action happened earlier than the other. The past perfect is mainly used in such situation. The simple past is used in one clause and the past perfect in the other, as when I reached the station the train had started, so I couldn't get into the train. I had done my exercise when Hari came to see me. I had written the letter before he arrived. Past perfect continuous tense. 233. The past perfect continuous is used for an action that began before a certain point in the past and continues up to that time, as at that time he had been writing a novel for 2 months. When Mr. Mukherjee came to school in 1995, Mr. Anand had already been teaching there for 5 years. Chapter 26. The Future. 234. There are several ways of talking about the future in English. The simple future tense, the going to form, the simple present tense, etc. Simple future tense. The simple future 235. The simple future tense is used to talk about things which we cannot control. It expresses the future as fact. I shall be 20 next Saturday. It will be Diwali in a week. We will know our exam results in May. 236. We use this tense to talk about what we think or believe will happen in the future. I think Pakistan will win the match. I am sure Helen will get a first class. As in the above sentence, we often use this sentence with I think and I am sure. We also say I expect or I believe or probably, etc. 237. We can use this tense when we decide to do something at the time of speaking. It is raining. I will take an umbrella. Mr. Sinha is very busy at the moment. Alright, I'll wait. Going to. 238. We use the going to form be going to plus base of the verb when we have decided to do something before talking about it. Have you decided what to do? Yes, I am going to resign the job. Why do you want to sell your motorbike? I am going to buy a car. Remember that if the action is already decided upon and preparation have made been, we should use the going to form, not the simple future tense. The simple future tense is used for an instant decision. 239. We also use the going to form to talk about what seems likely or certain when there is something in the present which tells us about the future. It is going to rain. Look at those clouds. The boat is full of water. It is going to sink. She is going to have a baby. 240. The going to form may also express an action which is on the point of happening. Let's get into the train. It is going to leave. Look, the crack is going to explode. Be about to. 241. Be about to plus base form can also be used for the immediate future. Let's get into the train. It's about to leave. Don't go out. We are about to have lunch. Simple present tense. 242. The simple present tense is used for official programming and timetables. The college opens on 23rd June. The film starts at 6:30 and finishes at 9. When does the next train leave for Chennai? 243. The simple present is often used for future time in clauses with if, unless, when, while, as, before, after, until, by the time, and as soon as. The simple future tense is not used in such cases. I won't go out if it rains, not will rain. Can I have some milk before I go to bed? Let's wait till he finishes his work. Please ring me up as soon as he comes. Present continuous tense. 244. We use the present continuous tense when we talk about something that we have planned to do in the future. I am going to Shimla tomorrow. We are eating out tonight. Mr. Abdul Rahman is arriving this evening. You are advised to use the present continuous, not the simple present for personal arrangement. Future continuous tense 245. We use the future continuous tense to talk about actions which will be in progress at a time in the future. I suppose it will be raining when we start. This time tomorrow it will be setting on the beach in Singapore. Can I see you at 5 o'clock? Please don't come then. I will be watching the tennis match on TV. 246. We also use this tense to talk about actions in the future which are already planned or which are expected to happen in the normal course of things. I will be staying here till Sunday. He will be meeting us next week. The postman will be coming soon. B2 247. We use B2 plus base from to talk about official plans and arrangement. The Prime Minister is to visit America next month. The conference is to discuss nuclear tests. B2 is used in a formal style, often in news reports. B is usually left out in headlines. Example, Prime Minister to visit America. Future perfect tense 248. The future perfect tense is used to talk about actions that will be completed by a certain future time. I shall have returned my exercise by then. He will have left before you go to see him. By the end of this month, I will have worked here for 5 years. Future perfect continuous tense 249. The future perfect continuous tense is used for actions which will be in progress over a period of time that will end in the future. By next March, we shall have been living here for 4 years. I will have been teaching for 20 years next July. Chapter 27. The verb, person and number. 250. The verb, like the personal pronouns, has 3 persons, the first, the second and the third. Thus we say, first, I speak. Second, you speak. Old English, thou speakest. Third, he speaks. This is because of the difference in persons of the subject, as all the 3 are subjects of the singular number. In sentence 1, the subject of the first person, therefore the verb is also the first person. In sentence 2, the subject is of the second person, therefore the verb is also of the second person. In sentence 3, the subject is of the third person, therefore the verb is also of the third person. We thus see that the verb takes the same person as its subject, or that the verb agrees with it, subject in person. 251. The verb, like the noun and the pronoun, has 2 numbers, the singular and the plural. Thus we say, he speaks, second, they speak. This is because of the difference in number of the subjects, as both the subjects are of the third person. In sentence 1, the subject is singular, therefore the verb is singular. In sentence 2, the subject is plural, therefore the verb is plural. We thus see that the verb takes the same number as its subject, or that the verb agrees with its subject in number. 252. But we have already seen that the verb also agrees with the subject in person. Hence, we have the important rule. The verb must agree with its subject in number and person. That is, the verb must be of the same number and person as its subject. Thus, if the subject is of the singular number, first person, the verb must be of the singular name, first person, as I am here, I was there, I have a bat, I play cricket. If the subject is of the singular number, third person, the verb must be of the singular number, third person, as he is there, he was here, he has a bat, he plays cricket. If the subject is of the plural number, third person, the verb must be of the plural number, third person, as they are here, they were here, they have bats, they play cricket. Note, in some language, the form of the word changes with the number of persons and the subject. In modern English, verbs have lost all their inflections for numbers and person except in the third person of the singular number. Thus, we have I speak, we speak, you speak, You speak. You is both singular and plural in current English. He speaks, they speak. The only exception is the verb to be, we say. I am, we are. You are, you are. He is, they are. For further study of the agreement of the verb with the subject, see Book 2, Chapter 17.